Sergeant Walter Mathias Maddox was a commander of the Night City 34th Precinct Cyber Psycho Squad. He rose to prominence following his famous Cyber Psycho pep talk to new recruits, and is also confirmed to be referenced in Cyberpunk 2077 via his book The MaxTac Way. I don't care how you got here, whether you were a screw-up or a tough guy with a promotion. You belong to me. I own you for the 12 hours that you work for me. I am your god and your worst bloody nightmare. You will either pay attention or you're going to be nothing more than history. Now that I have your bleeding little minds in focus, I'll begin your debriefing on dealing with and surviving the termination of cyberpsychosis. The first step to remember that anyone can be stricken with cyberpsychosis: your friends, your family, your boss. Nobody is exempt. Not even you. Step 2. Not all cyberpsychos are two-legged weapons platforms. Some may have very little cybernetic enhancement at all. For example, if a termination request came in and described a 5'98" corporate dweeb who had been acting kinda flaky suddenly, and a list of his known cyberware were all minor enhancements such as chipware, processor, 2 interface plugs, biomonitor, and a skin watch. Would you take the report seriously? Probably not, right? How about if he had reflex boosterware for those exciting lunchtime racquetball games? Would you cringe in fear? If you choose to laugh like our former captain did, you might as well follow his lead and blow your brains out right now, because that little rat I just described was a real person named Jason J. Everett. Jason was head netrunner in the disbursement and accounting division at the now bankrupt Hammer Corporation. He had access to everything, even restricted information that was not available to anyone under the company vice presidency level. He was very good at what he did and never got caught doing it. 2 months ago, Everett's termination papers came in and the captain backlogged it because he thought of it as a bleeding joke. I hadn't even seen the papers until after it was too late. Everett succeeded in beating his boss to death with his racquetball racket before retiring to the locker room to pick up his gym bag loaded with submachine guns and fragmentation grenades. He then proceeded to kill 24 other employees before barricading himself in the corp's communication core room. During this time, Everett had liquidated the assets of the company close to 6 billion eddies and destroyed the communications satellite. Jason Everett not only killed 25 people before we sent him a love letter through the head, he killed an up-and-coming corporation. It might make you think twice before you muscle over some wimpy-looking maggot. That was the strangest termination subject I've encountered, and there are and will be more just like him, unless they make psychiatric evaluations mandatory before and after all cyber enhancements and replacement surgery. It would be great, but common sense and corporate laws don't often mix well together. Step 3. Always learn all you can about the termination subject, because knowledge is power. Not having a clue is death. Real catchy, eh? Step 4. Equip yourself efficiently and effectively on all assignments. First and foremost, I recommend a clip or two of a high caliber DPU for the pistol or rifle that you're best with. DPU tends to cut through the toughest body-plated nutcase. Metal gear or skin-tight body armors are the only types of armor worn on this detail. With easy access to boosted cyberware, a lot of these monsters will punch you like a law rocket, ripping that Kevlar to ribbons in short order. Wear Kevlar and die. If you're partial to grenades, I suggest that you take the new combat glove that launches up to 6 different grenade types. They offer mace, vomit, joker, taser, and frag grenades, as well as a few other speciality types. The taser option is nice for that up-close work. Paint grenades are also nice. They won't hurt the sucker, but they will tend to blind and set them up for the rest of the squad. Another memorable cyber psycho was Jack the Beast Maddox. He was an infamous maverick cyber cop hiring himself out to corporation military divisions to train or lead personnel. When things were slow, he would hire out for cyber psycho duty at other precincts. The Beast was extremely dangerous, armed or unarmed. You would never know what he would do next. It was a shame to have to terminate an operative of his caliber and skill, but you know the drill. When we are called after someone, he's no longer a man. Jack wore a rubber werewolf mask to scare his victims, the mark of the beast, so to speak. His downfall was that no matter how much cyberware he got, he wasn't the best. He kept on pushing the envelope of cyborg development. Then he got into a new drug called hype, commonly used to boost reflexes. It focused his mind and destroyed his body, what little meat there was left. Amphetamines were once combat drugs in the 70s to the 90s, but speed is the newest bang. What caffeine was to speed, it's not even in the same class. Rumor has it that the Beast took down at least 8 fools from the Givers of Pain gang. Right after the fight, the body of the Beast was absconded by a yet unidentified meat wagon. A few minutes later, a licensed meat wagon flew over, rather annoyed that a high-paying client was nowhere to be found. Well, we thought that ended the illustrious career of the Beast. But about 8 months later, lots of bodies began to turn up, mangled and shredded. A lot of them were Givers of Pain, so we were not too distraught. An attack on a police SWAT transport was the first clue. The entire SWAT team and their pickup of 6 boosters was gutted and pentagrams were drawn on their heads. Luckily, several of the team had recording cyberware, so we reviewed the discs. It wasn't pretty. Something huge ripped the cargo doors off their hinges, and a frag grenade was tossed inside, killing the boosters and their guards. The last thing we could see was a blue shell outline with a glowing buzzsaw ripping through the recorder's bowels. Then we switched to someone in the back of the transport who'd opened up with his 5.56 narrow Kiwi Smith & Wesson. He then showed up on the target head and chest alike, but did not even slow him down. Many booming came from the cyborg, and the sound of a .477 boomer buster mowed down the rest of the team like butterflies. Looked like the tales of the Beast's death were greatly exaggerated. We got there with the squad before the bodies got cold, viewed the discs, and began the hunt. As if on cue, an explosion echoed up from the end of the block. The devil gave us our curtain call, and this time, we were ready. When we reached the scene of the explosion, some cats had just been fragged. I saw the Beast spray gunfire down an adjacent alley and duck in, running after him. He was nowhere to be seen. The street population had just dropped another 15. I thought to myself, the body lottery was going to be wild tomorrow. We broke up into 3 groups of 3, 1 spotter and 2 hitters. The spotters began to sweep the alley with passive infrared, but he was bogged out, so he wasn't likely to display a large heat trace. Launching a few light bulbs down the alley turned up nothing but trash and feral cats with attitude problems. The alley ended in a dead end, no broken doors or windows big enough to put a hulking 7'5" cyborg through, and no walls for him to jump over. So, where was he? I knew where he was when I heard the screams. A bloody trash heap. The 2 rookies had just started poking the huge piles of trash when a big rip erupted out of the trash and took one squarely in the chest. The other rookie fell back, opening fire, taking out the Borg's Heinweller assault rifle. It was good, but not good enough, as the Borg opened fire with his .44 and the rookie literally exploded against the wall. He'd been with the squad just 6 months. 3 down and 3 to go. The spotter in our group, an old vet, Davis, unlimbered a grenade and shoved it straight into the Borg's face. A flash of fluorescent green covered the Borg and set the rest of us up quite nicely. The Beast flailed around the alley when his chainsaw and big rip slicing the air and moaning in quadra stereo. The team emptied our clips of DPU, Teflon coated steel and Sabot ammo into the bastard, attempting to finally deprogram him for good. We were family, but I won't hesitate to terminate any of you. My brother, Jack Maddox, firstborn and favourite of my mother. He was the best at what he did. I was just better at what I did. And thus ends the talk by Sergeant Walter Mathias Maddox and his brother Jack the Beast Maddox. Jack was officially reported as killed in the line of duty and buried with honours. It remains to be seen whether these shall meet Walter in person during 2077, as the life expectancy of a cyber psycho cop leaves a lot to be desired. His legacy continues in print though. Thank you for chipping in.